Awuku a young politician. And so what study Sammy Awuku very well. Or one diabolic politician. What he does is say, why say anomako kune oko hunu nsuo na wabafia beka se hwane ko hunu nsuo no Sammy Awuku ya ade bi. And you see Okotena City FM, and even before he went to sit on City FM, Okojina social media etwa atro eto maritime authority. So he basically manufactured lies. He knew say asamna okano it was a lie, but you see he wanted to create scandal. He wanted to make sure say we go abandon masi into the oya and say he decided to create pieces of onwani imagination and creating say a story. Kind courtesy Oman hene Kobina Sante yere eye maritime authority, and the strategy is that MP before person use Oman hene Kobina Sante ne yere to destroy the maritime authority and do what and destroy the NDC government. And manipulating lies now manipulating, you know. When you read some part of the lies, and he posted this on his own page, Sammy Awuku, his own page. When he posted this, who read some part of it or see GMA, Ghana Maritime Authority, is to find ships that are found to be non-compliant with the relevant regulations. GMA is also to take necessary measures to get non-compliant ships to remedy all identified deficiencies. Or say, oh, Ghana Maritime Authority for a yomo no, a yoma sediano no, say ship biaba Ghana, or say ship no, embrabia or say film, and I say a year procedure be or say film no, or some making sure say, or my supervisor my ship no, after sa procedure no, ship be a befa Ghana biano, a Maritime Authority for Juma, DSA or some year, because or no or say or the committee be so a parliament, muntie do I. Into what church running 7 or say, oh, under the watch of President Jandam Mahama, you see. So right now, the idea is that opeso gu Mahama hu fin, opeso ogu NDC hu fin. In the article, no, he wants it to look like say under John Mahama no, a ship be another vessel be about Ghana cocaine woman, Maritime Authority for Ashama ship na sako abra oman charge ship no. Sammy Awuku could have started this idea with you. Now see under the watch of President John Mahama in July 2025, or see last year, TMA, or see last year, Assembly see last year. Now under the watch of John Mahama, on politics omoye, en kwasiade we anomaya de ura parliament. Only credibility, but maybe show the reason why Sammy Awuku any credibility. Now he goes on to say this: a vessel MV Sankofa was in the waters of Ghana. That vessel was arrested by GMA for breaching almost all regulatory prescriptions. At the time of her arrest, the vessel was flying under the flag of Sao Tome. However, without any official records of how the GMA applied the sanctions prescribed by law for such breaches, the vessel was allowed to sail out of Ghana. In an interesting twist, this same vessel has been arrested in Senegal for allegedly transporting illicit drugs after it sailed from the shores of Ghana. In email correspondence between Senegal and Ghana, meaning he has the correspondence. Or patch say ship be before Ghana ha. Na ship ne fa Sankofa. Na sa ship no NDC for na man ship ne befa ha. Na Maritime Authority for na making sure say ship no emra e wo say fam search e wo say fam nyina no. Omo sheda e no man hwe a ship no e de cocaine ana illicit drug bi e fa Ghana ha koy na ship no na sebio South Tome for ship. Na osisa ship na 2025 July no yes, our ship no ekopie Senegal no and ye ship ne say ship no cocaine ni enumoni gum Sammy Awuku na eka o. Who read on one statement on Facebook nyomo chiro na. At this point he said this, yankan we kan. In an interesting twist, this same vessel has been arrested in Senegal for allegedly transporting illicit drugs after it sailed from the shores of Ghana. In email correspondence between Senegal and Ghana that I have cited, or see, there's been email exchange between Ghana and Senegal for authority no on one kasa wehu or say Ghana Medical Authority denied that the vessel, despite flying under the flag of Ghana, is not registered in Ghana. In my capacity as a member of Parliament for the good people of Okuapem North, the Vice Chairman of Parliament Committee on Public Administration and State Interest, I will be filing a request for information to the GMA for answers to the following questions. It was say onwangasa or a parliamentarian or to committee so na ono be file RTI ono email a ohu ye no nani kwasua hu ye no e kire pefe se eye saa ship na be fa Ghana no na cocaine wo mu a ya nche no e ma ne kopie Senegal a ye che ship no. These are the questions. Vessel entry identification. On what date did the M. Sankofa enter Ghana territorial waters? What was the first port of call, docking for the vessel in Ghana? Under which national flag? That is Sankofa enter Ghana. Under which national flag did Sankofa depart Ghana? On what date did Sankofa depart Ghana territorial waters? Arrest and enforcement actions. Just I'll send the questions in Yunani into scandal BSC. This is Sammy Awuku. He went further to sit on City News. And creating on Wankasa ne scandal because he's bent by Omiama Kachiro mo say omon try no mon find it at Shrobingwa ban so send ebe ya ebe ringi wa MPP for bitrim na mo dia nante say na esi ya chi cocaine into Sammy Awuku now their manufacturing scandal Osako City ekoto an nsem no so.
The International Maritime Organization is underpinned by 4 main pillars. One, the international maritime, that's the maritime pollution, the safety of life at sea, the Maritime Labor Convention, and that's a standard of certification and watch keeping for seafarers. So the 4 pillars that underpins the International Maritime Organization, clearly if you look at the laws that goes with it, this particular vessel had violated it. The various fines that they were supposed to pay amounts to almost 12 million cedis. And Ghana had every right to detain that particular vessel. That particular vessel, strangely, was left to go. I am not too sure if the fines were paid. I'm not too sure under which condition did they allow this vessel to leave Ghana. And when the vessel was leaving Ghana, it was under which flag or state flag did it exit the shores of Ghana? Because as I told you, you cannot be stateless. It must be a particular country's flag or registry that you belong to. So this went quiet. This was July last year. This vessel went to Rome, like moved within the West African coast, and finally, before Easter, just some few weeks ago, this vessel was arrested in Senegal. When the vessel was arrested in Senegal, the Senegalese sent the Ghanaian authorities an email, and I quote, it says, "Dear Sir, Madam, Senegalese maritime authorities are currently monitoring the vessel MV Sankofa, flying the Ghanaian flag, suspected of involvement in drug trafficking." This was the email from Senegal to Ghana. Pursuant to Article 17, flag state authorization of the United Nations Convention Against Illicit Traffic in Narcotics, Drugs, and Psychotropic Substances, we request your confirmation that this vessel is registered in the National Maritime Register of the Republic of Ghana. If so, we urgently request your consent to conduct a vessel boarding, including document verification and cargo inspection. We would appreciate your prompt response and any specific instructions or conditions you may wish to provide. This was the email sent by the Senegalese authorities to Ghana. Ghana then responds and says, "We do not know this vessel. This vessel is not in our registry." But this was the same vessel that was within the territorial borders and waters of Ghana, violating all the maritime laws of our country, shipping laws of our country, left to go, and now involved in international drug trafficking. So I have invoked the provisions under the RTI and requesting the Ghana Maritime Authority to formally furnish me with the details of the various questions.
It won't say, say journalists not smarter. The first question I'll ask you is, from your own comment, you said a ship left Ghana and roamed and ended up in Senegal. And they suspect that the ship is carrying illicit drugs. So what is the probability that this ship that came to Ghana had illicit drug on board? So you cannot sit in Ghana and conclude and start to say, now the maritime authority should give you a log of the ship because you believe the ship was here. You are writing to RTI to force maritime authority to give you information. It looks like you are stupid. You don't even know what you're talking about. The Ghana Maritime Authority is telling you that this particular ship wasn't in our territories. Now, when we say our water territories, a ship can pass through our territories without docking at the shores of Ghana. For you to go on radio to say, because of that scandal, but udim dia yapa, or not go to radio so misinform Ghana phone. That is what they do. The idea was that mamenko abontene, na menko misinforming kofo, na menko twa intro ento eyedien. Mame din kan ko twa intro ento NDC for so. Me twa intro ni wie na se ye bloggers ne fa na ye communicators no eco TV so no ko twa atro no fam atro no ho a ade chia I will do something simple into nim de oyeye okodi atro no wie no ade chia no o say oh we release the letter akoma eye RTI for adentira o say letter no otro by no ono ankasa redraw. This guy has no credibility. He's a criminal. These are people without any credibility. In the end, adia chinya or so what letter now or trust say or recall because before you write to RTI, it means you have your facts right. Now, this is what you wrote. Date national said 13th of May 2026. 13th of April 2026. The Chief Executive, Ghana Maritime Authority. Obina na onu obusa Maritime Authority questions no and Sammy Awuku asa actual letter kuma Maritime Authority say omunye bibi de na watro withdrawal of letter na otro na obusa questions no onu angaza sorry no pass wa withdraw letter no. This is not a credible human being. This guy can never be an honorable person. This guy is a filthy liar. Now they not show letter him. I write in my capacity as the Member of Parliament for Equiapim North constituency and Vice Chairman of the Committee on Public Administration and State Interest to formally withdraw my earlier correspondence reference MP 26026 dated 13th April 2026 and address to your office. I respectfully request that the said letter be treated as withdrawn with immediate effect and that its content be disregarded accordingly. I regret any inconvenience this may cause and appreciate your cooperation. Signed by who? Samuel Awuku, MP, Equiapim North Constituency, Chairman, Vice Chairman, Committee on Public Administration and State Interest. So you see, we didn't call radio so, we didn't show nyomegu Facebook, we didn't say a binding, adechinya also letter no try no withdraw. Bonina odi and we deal with, and that is the strategy of the NPP.